Hi guys, today's video is putting on a full face of makeup with nothing new. So when I don't do videos for YouTube, I do wear makeup nearly every single day. It would be pretty rare when there's a day that I don't put on makeup whatsoever. And I've done that probably since I've been about 15 or 16. I'm always amazed at the transformation that makeup gives, and I absolutely love it. So I want to do more videos of makeup that I have in my collection because I do rotate through it. I mean, I have a lot in my collection because of my channel, but I do try out different products. I rotate through my foundations. I try and rotate through the eyeshadows that I have, and also the blushes and other things as well as my lipsticks, although I tend to stay with certain ones for my lipsticks. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put on today, but even though that it's overcast here, it is going to be fairly warm since it is summer here. So I just want something very light, not only just the foundation, although I'll probably wear one that is more suited with my oily skin with the warmer temperature, but more the eyeshadow and the blush. I just want to go for a fairly simple type of look. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose my makeup. I'm going to do that now. I'm just going to grab my other camera and we'll just go through some of my makeup and I'll choose what I'm going to put on for the video. So we'll start off with primer, and I have those beside me on my table all the time. So I think today I will use the new, it is the new Forever Veil one. I really love this primer. I think it's lovely. So I think I'll use that one today. And then we'll go to foundation. I have quite a selection. I did a declutter video a little while ago and got rid of quite a few. So I'm just thinking it's warm, but it's not too hot. So I think today I will go with, I'll go with the Hourglass one. I haven't worn that for a little while. So I think today I will use the Hourglass. It's the Ambient Soft Glow one. Then we'll go to a powder. And I think I'm going to use the new one, the limited edition one, the Christian Dior one. This is from the Mitzah collection. This is the loose powder in rose. Absolutely beautiful. Definitely getting a backup of this. So this is the one I'll wear today. Then we'll go to bronzers. As you can see, I love the Guerlain bronzers. I just think they're absolutely gorgeous. And I've worn the Dior one quite a few times recently because of the new Dior products that have come out. So I think today I might use the Victoria Beckham one. This is in 02 and I think I'll wear this one today. And next is eyeshadow. So I keep all my Chanel eyeshadows in here and a few of my nail polishes, and I've got my other nail polishes, the rest of my Chanel ones in another drawer. I haven't worn for quite a while one of the Beiges one, and I think there is one tender, so I think I will wear that. That's this one here in tender. So I think I'll wear this one today. It is really, really pretty. Next is blush, and I have two drawers of blushes. So I really need to do a declutter. There are some really beautiful ones in here. I love a lot of these, but I do need to declutter some. So I love this Chanel one. I also love this new to me, the Clair Peau one. I think that is really, really beautiful. I'll take a look in the other drawer as well and see what I've got. So I haven't put on a Gucci blush for a little while, and I've got Rosy Beige, which is really lovely, and then this is the warm berry one. So I think today this is what I'm going to put on, the Gucci one and the one in Rosy Beige. And then we'll have a look at the lipsticks. So I have these two here, plus there's a drawer of them as well. These are the ones on top of here that I probably reach for the most. So I'm thinking probably a Chanel one, and I have the shade Easy. That one is Dossier, which was a limited edition. I absolutely love that. That's really beautiful. This is the shade Easy. So this is the one I'll wear today. I just want a very light makeup look. So the only other thing, I probably won't use a highlighter today, but I do need to choose a concealer. I usually at the moment go with the Chanel Sublimage, but we'll just take a look in my drawer. This is what I have in front of me, and I keep in here mascaras, and a couple of those actually need to go, and there's all my concealers as well. So instead of the Chanel Sublimage, I think today I will go with the, I'll go with the Peau one and use this one. This is a really lovely concealer, so this is the one I'll use today. So now that I've done that, I'm just going to put my hair up a bit just so it stays out of the way. I just find that it tends to get in the way of when I put on foundation and my eyeshadow and also my blush. And when I'm not doing videos, I also put my hair up like this as well when I'm putting on my makeup. So I'll start off with the primer that I picked out. This is the new one released by Dior, and I love it. I think it's a really, really lovely primer. I also really love the Hourglass one and the Tom Ford one as well, the soft matte primer. Which is my favourite? I'm not too sure. This is pretty much on par with that Hourglass one, the new one that was released last year. That's a beautiful primer, and I'll still keep using that. This one is really lovely as well. I think this one gives just a really lovely blurring effect. So I'm just going to let this sit here for about a minute or two, and then I'll put on my foundation. So for the Hourglass foundation, I'll just start off with one pump. This is in the shade 6.5, and I've got a dampened beauty blender, and I think what I'll do is just dot it around my face and then I'll blend it in. I do find I love using beauty blenders, especially this time of the year. I think they press your product into the skin really well and just help to blur out your pores. But the one thing I do find with a beauty blender, it does tend to sort of soak up quite a bit of product. Sometimes I just dab the beauty blender on the product, but other times I do it like this, and I just find I don't use as much product. This is a lovely foundation, and those of you that haven't seen any of my other videos, I am 53 years old and I have oily skin. So when this was released last year, I didn't buy it straight away. I picked this one up from Selfridges because it wasn't available in New Zealand. And I wasn't too sure whether I was going to, but then I saw some reviews where people with drier skin thought it was a little bit too drying. So I sort of thought, well, it's probably going to be perfect for my oily skin, and it is. I think this is a really, really lovely foundation. So I think that might be the first time I've used the Hourglass foundation with that new Dior primer, and both go together really, really beautifully. So now I'm just going to pop on the concealer, the Peau one. This is in the shade Almond. Everything that I'm putting on my face today, I will have listed and linked in the description box below. Since this is a cream stick concealer, I tend to just swipe some on my finger first, and then I just rub it with the other one, and it just helps warm up the product and just helps it go on that a little bit easier. And just like with my other concealers, I start in the inner corner and I just slowly tap it out. This is one of my favourite concealers as well. Is the Sublimage, which is my favourite one. Is it better than this one? I'm not too sure. When I first got this concealer, I wasn't too sure about it, but I think I put on too much, and when I started applying it using my fingers instead of a brush, I used to just put some in the corner and then put the rest on using a brush. I felt like it got a little bit thick, but now that I put it on just by tapping it on using my finger, it actually is really, really beautiful, and it is definitely one of my favorites, and I think it also gives really great coverage as well. So I didn't go through with you choosing the eyebrow pencil because really this is the one that I use every single day, and this is in the shade Brun Clair. Chanel are releasing 3 new ones for their spring collection. I think they're possibly going to be limited edition. I love the shade, but there is at least one shade with that spring collection that's coming out that I'm probably tempted to get. And there's one called Brun Taupe, and I think that could be really lovely as well. This is just one that I use every day. I just find it just stays on really well, and it's probably because of the shade. I just love the shade so much. So I don't fuss around with my eyebrows too much. Really, I just tie them up a little bit and fill in the gaps. And then once I've done that, I just pop on a brow gel, and I use the Benefit one. I've also used the Anastasia Beverly Hills one. I think I have a backup of that one in my drawer, so I might use that one after I've finished the Benefit. But either one are really lovely. I just like a gel that doesn't feel too crunchy on my eyebrows. So this is the Benefit one, the 24-hour, the brow setter. And this is actually due to be replaced. I have a backup of this in my drawer as well. But I'll double check about the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, because if I have got a backup of that one, I'll probably use that one before I start using the backup of the Benefit one that I have. And I've just put some eyeshadow primer on, and I use the same one every day. It's the matte paint pot, and it's the one in Painterly. Now I'm just going over, just doing a light dusting of powder over the top, and I use the Makeup by Mario. It's the Master Eye Prep and Set, and this is in medium. And I just use the shade here, and I just use a fluffy brush. This is a Wayne Goss one, and just very lightly just dust over the eyeshadow primer. It just helps to set it all down. And for under my eyes, I've just put on, it's the Westman Atelier, it's the Vital Pressed skincare powder. This is in the shade Creme, and I just put this on. I just tap my finger in and just put a slight amount under my eyes, just enough really to set it. And I really use this one or the By Terry one every single day. I don't have any others. I just find those really, really good for setting powder under my eyes, but not drying it down too much. So now we'll go to the Christian Dior. This is the new limited edition one with the Mitzah collection. This is in the shade Rose, the loose powder. This powder is just so, so beautiful. And I've been using it either with, I'll find something like this brush here. This is the Sonia G, the face one. Put that in and buff the powder in. Or, which I hardly ever do, but I have been using the little puff that comes with this, and I'm going to use that today. So I will just press it in, just lightly press it in. And I tend to put it all over because I have oily skin. Those of you with more combination skin probably just want to pop some in your T-zone. I think this powder gives a really, really beautiful finish. It just softens the look of my skin, and it has a beautiful blurring effect as well. But either using this little puff or another type of brush that you use to buff powder in, either one just give a really lovely finish. And for the Victoria Beckham bronzer, I'm going to use the Sonia G. This is the Niji Pro brush. This is in the shade 2, and I just swipe between both of the shades. This bronzer is new to me, and I absolutely love it. Now, I love the Guerlain bronzers. I also love the one Chanel put out last year as well, that oversized one, although technically I suppose that was a face powder, but I use those as a bronzer. This is really, really beautiful. And the next time that I pick up some things from Victoria Beckham Beauty, I will pick up another shade in this. I'm just going to go for just one shade deeper, probably 03, just so I can have a deeper bronzer on hand as well. But it is a really, really beautiful bronzer. So now I'm going to pop on the Chanel. This is the Beiges in Tender. This is a really, really pretty palette, and I haven't used it for a little while, and today I just want quite a soft look. So there are 4 shades in here, but I'm probably only going to use maybe 2 or 3. I just want a very, very soft look, and this is the look that I tend to go for with my everyday makeup. Every now and then, even if I'm just staying at home, I will go for a more bolder colour if I feel like it. But the majority of the time, I do go for a softer eye look. So I'm going to take the Sonia G. This is the Classic Crease. And I think I will start off with, I'm going to start off with this shade here, I think. This is really beautiful. It's a lovely, it's a shimmer. And I'm just going to put this all over my lid. And I'm going to just take it above the crease as well. So through the crease and up above as well. And often the most simple looks can be the most beautiful looks. And even though this is pinks, and there have been quite a lot of pinks being put out just recently, especially with the Dior releases, this is, I think in this palette, they are sort of different pinks again, and they're very, very soft, and I love the shimmer in this. You can see the shimmer, you can see a little bit of the sparkle, but it's just not too much. I think it is really, really pretty palette. So I'm going to take the Rapha 14, and now I'm going to go into this deeper shade here. And as I normally do, just going to put a little bit of this in the outer corner. This shade is actually quite pigmented. I've forgotten, it's been a while since I've picked up these palettes. I've got this one Tender, and I've also got the other one Intense. It has those beautiful greens in it as well. And for the Beiges, because that can tend to be a little bit more soft again for Chanel, but it actually does have quite a bit of pigment, and it is buildable if that's what you want, but I'm probably just gonna leave it just as it is. But these are blending really, really lovely. Then I'm going to take the Sonia G, this is the pencil one, and I'm going to stay with the shade here. And I'm going to run that under my lower lash line. And then I'm going to go back into the first shade that I used, and I'm just taking my Chocohodo brush. This is a little bit more dense, and I just want to pack a little bit more of this shadow just through here, just so it stands out a little bit more. But those are the 3 shades that I'm using today. I'm not going to use the other 2. I think these 3 are really, really lovely. And I've just wiped down the Sonia G. This is the pencil one, and I'm going to go back into that shade again. And I'm going to put a little bit of this just in a corner and just through here. And I hadn't chosen an eyeliner pencil, so I've just grabbed, this is one of my favourites. This is the Guerlain one, and this is in the shade Brown Earth. So off camera, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tight line. I don't want the eyeliner to look too heavy, so I'm just going to tight line on my upper lash line and just put a very small amount on my lower lash line. The Chanel Le Volume Mascara, which is my absolutely favourite one, is a brand new one that I just opened up and used for the first time today. And sometimes with new mascara, it can go on just a little bit thick, just the first 2 or 3 times that you use it. So I just did find there was a little bit too much just on a couple of my lashes. But what I did is, because I love the brush on this so much, and I love the formula of this as well. So quite a while ago, with one that I had to throw out because it was either past its 3 months, I keep a mascara about 3 months, or it had started to dry out, I actually cleaned the brush. And then what I do is, if I've got a little bit too much mascara on my lashes, I just go over with this one, and it just works really, really well. And I just cleaned it. I think I just used soapy warm water. It didn't take very long to clean it all, but I just find this really handy if you've just found that your mascara's gone on just a little bit too thick. So now we'll go in with this gorgeous Gucci blush. This is in the one Rosy Beige. And I'm going to use a new brush that I just got the other day. And this is a Chocohodo brush. This is very soft. I've used it once and think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I haven't tried it with this formula yet. And it is quite fluffy. And it does deposit product quite lightly. But I just find that it diffuses the product really beautifully as well. I'm trying to think what blush I used it with the other day. I can't remember now. And I thought it put the product on really, really lovely. And again, it's just working really, really lovely. Usually when you've seen my other videos, I use this brush. This is another Chocohodo brush. This is from the FO series. And I think that is really beautiful. But this one is applying blush really beautifully as well. And the colour of this blush is just, it's so, so beautiful. And then finally the Chanel, the Coco Flash. This is in the shade Easy. I use this lipstick a lot. And I really like the Coco Flash in the lighter colours. Mainly because if I pop out, I always at least take a lipstick with me. And I just find with these type of shades, I don't need a mirror to reapply it. I can just pop it on without even using a mirror if I have to. And I love the formula of these as well. So here is the final look and I love it. Just it's a very simple but beautiful makeup look. I love the tones that I used today, and I'd forgotten how much I did love the Chanel, those Le Beiges, the Tender, and I need to try the other one, Intense, soon as well. Really beautiful, and I love it, the look that I got just using 3 of the shadows out of that palette as well. And I'm loving the Hourglass foundation together with that Dior primer. I think both, they look really beautiful, and of course that Dior powder is just absolutely stunning. And the Gucci blush, this is the first one that I bought out of the 2, and I loved it so much. That's when I picked up that other shade that I was showing you at the beginning. That's in my drawer, Warm Berry. I think they are really, really lovely, and I love the shade, really beautiful. And the Chanel lipstick is gorgeous, my type of everyday makeup. And I'm not actually going anywhere today, but this is what I do. Even when I don't go out of the house, I'll be doing some other work just from home, but I still love putting on a full face of makeup. And if I have the time, I just love sitting here in this room and putting on the makeup. Until I moved into this house a couple of years ago, I never had a dedicated beauty room. I'd wanted one for years and years. Usually I just had to store all my makeup in different places, and I have to stand up in the bathroom and put makeup on. And I didn't mind doing that, but I do love just sitting down, and often I'll catch up on different YouTube videos or even watch or part of a movie while I'm putting on makeup. I just love the whole experience of it. And as I said at the beginning of the video, I'm always amazed at the transformation that it gives. I just love makeup so much. So that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. Bye.